welcome to the Inspiring You Show. If we haven't met, I'm Henry. So, my friends, we are going to be doing the energy forecast for March, but focusing on one theme. And this theme is breaking free and reclaiming power, the expansion spiral of transformation. So before we get to that, though, let's just take a moment to settle. So find a comfortable position, either laying down or seated. Close your eyes, lower your gaze, and take a nice deep breath in. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. Following your breath in, following your breath out. Taking another deep breath in. Filling your body with presence, and then on the exhale, releasing tension, allowing your shoulders to drop, your breath to slow, and your energy to settle. Inhaling clarity and trust, exhaling frustration, resistance. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out what no longer supports you. And since we're going to be talking about the expansion spiral of transformation, as you breathe in, imagine yourself standing or visualize, be in knowingness that you're standing in the center of a spiral, a sacred path of transformation. So imagine, sense, visualize, or be in knowingness that you're standing in the center of a spiral, a sacred path of transformation. Each step forward is a moment of growth. Each step forward is a moment of transformation. Each pause, each perceived setback is an opportunity to realign. Take another deep breath. Now we're going to invite Reiki energy healing in. If you wish to receive Reiki, you can say, yes, I'd like to receive Reiki for my highest good. If you don't, that's okay. Reiki always respects free will. And then take another deep breath. This moment is yours. You're safe. You're exactly where you need to be. All right, let's talk about this theme. So, we are going to be exploring the third theme of the March 2025 energy forecast. This is one of the 9 themes in March, guiding us toward a month of deep transformation. If you'd like the full energy forecast in one episode, then you can head to that episode on my podcast, The Inspiring You Show, wherever you listen to podcasts, or on YouTube. It's a previous episode that has a complete perspective. But for now, we're journeying into one theme, theme 3, breaking free and reclaiming power, the expansion spiral of transformation. So let's talk about transformation. I know in our human experience, oftentimes we want things to be very straightforward, yet transformation and humaning is often really linear. So transformation is rarely linear. It moves in spirals. Forward motion, pauses, setbacks that sometimes can feel like regression. And this is the nature of deep evolution. Before expansion can fully take hold, often we may be called to clear what is blocking our way forward. And it could be limited beliefs. There could be some emotions that need to be processed. There could be maybe it's generational trauma, or maybe it's something from a past life. So we must clear what's blocking our way forward. And March carries a powerful expansion cycle. But first, we're being asked to release old structures, dissolve outdated beliefs, and reclaim the energy we have unconsciously given away. So, if you've been feeling like momentum builds only to be followed by unexpected delays, frustrated that past patterns or wounds are resurfacing, stuck in cycles of resistance, exhaustion, or emotional turbulence, know that this is part of the process. We're here to learn, grow, and evolve, my friends. And this month, we are learning that sometimes delays are not denials. They are, in fact, recalibrations. The universe is positioning us for something greater than we may even have anticipated, even if it feels like we're being held in place. And so, one of the questions to ask is, can you trust what looks like a setback is actually a setup for something greater? So, can you trust that what looks like a setback is actually a setup for something greater? So, in this episode, you'll learn and we'll explore why transformation allows and follows spiral pattern, not a straight line. So, why transformation follows a spiral pattern and not a straight line, how to navigate unexpected setbacks with awareness instead of frustration, why breakdowns often precede breakthroughs, how to recognize hidden energetic blocks and release them, and also the cosmic energies, how Mercury retrograde, Venus conjunct Neptune, and the solar eclipse are amplifying this process and how to work with it. And we'll be talking about tools and integration. So, also how to reclaim your personal power during periods of uncertainty. This theme is not just about change, it is about learning to trust the process of transformation, even when it doesn't make sense. So, here are some key themes and insights. Why transformation follows a spiral pattern, not a straight line. Transformation often feels cyclical and a cycle rather than linear because we revisit issues, emotions, and lessons at different levels of depth and understanding as we grow. It can be layers of transformation. I actually call it going around the mulberry bush, and sometimes with it, you just note how like, oh, well, the mulberry bush is a bit smaller now, or it could be like going around a mountain, however you call it. But what happens is that there's just we revisit issues, emotions, and lessons at different levels of depth and understanding as we grow. So our consciousness can be expanding. So each time a situation resurfaces, it offers a new perspective or a deeper insight, much like moving up the turns of a spiral staircase. Because from a spiral staircase, you have a different vantage. So each time a situation resurfaces, it offers a new perspective or deeper insight, much like moving up the turn of a spiral staircase. So the concept helps us understand why certain themes repeat in life, but each time with a new twist or lesson. And essentially, once it comes to completion, then it's finished. But it will often reappear until we really understand the wisdom of it to download, because we're here to learn, grow, and evolve. So, the spiral of transformation, understanding growth cycles. Many people expect transformation to be a straight path, progress, success, achievement. But true transformation moves in a spiral, a rhythmic cycle of expansion, which is moving forward, feeling empowered. There might be some contraction, facing setbacks, old wounds resurfacing, then integration, learning, healing, and preparing for the next breakthrough. And then breakthrough, moving into the new level of awareness and embodiment. So, this spiral movement sometimes can feel frustrating. Just when we think we're making progress, something from the past resurfaces, old habits, limiting beliefs, emotional triggers, things we thought we had already healed. So, why does this happen? Because growth is not just about moving forward, it's about deepening our awareness, downloading wisdom, expanding our consciousness. We're here to learn, grow, and evolve. So, again, why does this happen? Because growth is not about just moving forward. It's not about checking off the boxes. It's not about like, okay, that's done. Now I get this. We're here to learn, grow, and evolve. It is about deepening our awareness. Are you willing to learn? Are you willing to grow? So here are some questions to ask yourself. Am I mistaking discomfort for failure? Am I mistaking discomfort for failure? Where am I resisting the natural cycle of transformation? Where am I resisting the natural cycle of transformation? Am I willing to trust that pauses and setbacks are part of the process? Am I willing to trust that pauses and setbacks are part of the process? So, with that, then let yourself take time to answer these questions because that will support you in greater ways. And now, then, looking at like why setbacks happen before breakthroughs. Many, many years ago, I was taking this course and they often said through the whole weekend, like, break down for a breakthrough. And I was like, ugh. And then it was like a moment where I was like, "Oh, I finally understand surrendering though. Like I get it now." I physically embodied and understood the breakdown for a breakthrough. And before I might have been resisting the breakdown, and then I gracefully moved into understanding, "Oh, this is about surrendering, letting go of that any kind of non-beneficial control aspects or getting caught in what you're perceiving maybe as the illusion." And then once you let go and you're having that moment, that beneficial aspect to let go, surrender, you then can move eventually through to the breakthrough, which then is then the shifting. So the energy of March is revealing hidden blocks that must be cleared before new expansion can take root. And that's part of the key part of it. Are you willing to learn, grow, and evolve? So, how to navigate unexpected setbacks with awareness and compassion instead of frustration. So, setbacks are part of any growth process. By approaching them with mindfulness awareness, you recognize setbacks as opportunities to pause, reflect, and adjust your path. This approach minimizes frustration and maximizes learning, allowing you to align more closely with your goals and the realities around you. So it's about staying present and mindful even when things don't go as planned. And that's so like it's so key for anything. Like if you even go to the grocery store. So you go into the grocery store and then all of a sudden you get there and you're like, "Oh my god, there's so many more people than I thought. I thought I was going at the right time." There might be some disappointment. And so you just take a moment to approach it with mindful awareness. You recognize that setbacks, like, "Oh, it's going to take me longer than I thought." It's opportunities to pause, reflect, adjust your path. This approach minimizes frustration and maximizes learning, allowing you to align more closely with your goals and realities around you. And the goal really is we're here to learn, grow, and evolve. And so, are you letting yourself evolve? Because maybe, who knows, maybe if there's more people at the grocery store, it's going to take longer. Maybe then you're getting out of the grocery store later than you thought, but maybe that was because it was to support you and protect you. Because maybe something was going to happen that you didn't need to be a part of. There's so many elements that could be happening. And that's why you have to understand that we're living in a world that we're in a multidimensional space. And are you letting yourself to really move in the flow? Or are you trying to hold on to things and trying to put it in place how you want it? And is that causing you more difficulty in your life? So let's look at you know, with this, why breakdowns often precede breakthroughs. So, breakdowns, while challenging, can dismantle old beliefs and behaviors that no longer support you, paving the way for new opportunities and insights. They can be really challenging. I have many images and moments in my head when I think about past breakdowns where I was trying to hold on and then I finally let go. Whoo. And then the breakthrough came. So they're paving the way for new opportunities, insights, but are you letting that happen? Breakdowns precede breakthroughs. They force deep evaluation of our paths and choices, which can lead to significant personal and spiritual growth. So, understanding this can help you embrace the discomfort of breakdowns as necessary for the emergence of new strengths and breakthroughs. So, then how to recognize hidden energetic blocks and release them. And if you are going through a breakdown, I definitely recommend doing energy work, meditation, you know, chanting meditations, tools to support you moving through it. Reach out to, if you need help, reach out to practitioners to support you, to help hold compassion spaces for you, because sometimes it can be really hard just doing it on your own. So reach out for support too. And two, yes, to your family and friends, but I also really recommend practitioners. Find practitioners who understand nervous system regulation, who understand, trauma informed tools, who understand, meditation, energy work, somatic tools, that they can then give you tools to support you. So you have ongoing tools. It's not just enough to go talk to a practitioner. Are you gaining tools from that practitioner? Are you leaving with things to do when you're finding yourself in the heat of that moment? Learn tools to support your human. So, how to recognize then hidden energetic blocks and release them. Energetic blocks often manifest as repeated patterns, unexpected emotional reactions, or a feeling of being stuck. Recognizing these blocks involves tuning into your emotions, your body signals, sensations, and the outcomes your experiences, the outcomes you are experiencing. So, what are the outcomes you're experiencing? And if you're finding that you're ending up on the same road again and again, and you're not pleased about this, that you feel like you're in some sort of Groundhog's Day looping, that's where you have to look at, like, are there any hidden energetic blocks? Am I caught in any pattern loops? And then what choices are keeping me in these? And then clearing the energy that's being called to be cleared and transformed, strengthening new energies to come in, working with your mental, emotional bodies to process, retrain the brain, using tools to help you. And then techniques, obviously, like energy work, meditation, reflective journaling, or other things can help identify and clear these blocks and facilitating a smoother flow of energy and intention in your life. Think of it this way. If you are planting a new garden, you must first clear the weeds. Are you clearing the weeds? And some of the questions that you might find yourself asking: why do these old patterns keep coming back? Why do these patterns keep coming back? Why is this happening to me again? Why do I feel stuck when I'm trying to move forward? Why does my energy feel blocked despite my efforts? Because unconscious resistance, energetic blocks, energetic patterns, limited beliefs, they're creating a looping. And oftentimes they must be acknowledged before it can be released. You have free will. And so you then acknowledging, recognizing what you've learned, waking up, downloading the wisdom and being like, aha, now I see it. And maybe it's from this present moment. Maybe it's mixed with past lives, family lineage. Maybe it's also from the collective. It could be like a hodgepodge of things. You're multidimensional. But this is where mindfulness, somatic awareness, energy work becomes essential. And so with that, then once you do these things, recognizing, or in dowsing, we call it investigation work. Once you've investigated, you looked at what the lessons are, then The clearing happens, and then what do you want to, during the clearing is, how to reclaim your personal power during periods of uncertainty, or calling back your power, your energy, transformed and transmuted. And so reclaiming your personal power, a part of that also means taking responsibility for your reactions and your emotions, even in uncertain times. And I know it can be really challenging at times because if we have done something that has created a difficult experience in our lives and we realize, wow, I did that to myself. You are essentially a victim and possibly a perpetrator or a violator to yourself in regard to putting yourself in a situation. And it could be simply as like, oh, I really been meaning to exercise, but I am too comfortable in my, routine of getting home and watching television while eating and while watching television. And then I go to bed. And then next thing you know, months down the line, you start not feeling good. And so your body's not feeling good. You feel sad about your body not feeling good. So you're a victim. But then your choices led you there. And it could have also been the choice too, where you felt sad, you felt depressed. But that's where using various tools for your mental body, your emotional body, your physical body, and reclaiming your personal power doesn't mean just calling your energy back in, be transformed and muted. It means taking responsibility for your humaning. Whew. For your reactions, emotions, even in uncertain times. It involves recognizing that you have a choice in how you respond to challenges and changes. But we are here to learn, grow, and evolve. So there is the element of bringing in compassion because sometimes it can be really confusing being human. But this empowerment comes from within and is supported by practices that connect you with your core values and strengths, such as mindfulness, beneficial aspect in terms of communication, and also creating healthy boundaries. And part of setting healthy boundaries with self is, if you find yourself watching too much television or scrolling too much, creating healthy boundaries. I'm going to not look at my phone in the morning until this time, or I'm going to take off social media from my phone so that way I can focus on, being present in the morning, doing meditation, and then I'll just check it on my computer like once a day. Because ultimately, it's about then, the life that you want to call in. And if you're not getting to that life that you feel is within you for your potential to reach, you have to break down what's happening with your experiences and your choices. And what's interesting is that, you know, there's there's times when, we all have, many of us, everyone has the ability to have intuitive information, psychic information. But it doesn't mean that the human is gonna that psychic information is gonna wake them up and it's gonna change the course of their life. You have to actually be an inspiring action sometimes to make changes take place. There's been experiences in my own life that I've gotten intuitive information, but then I've gotten it, but I've put it off. And then all of a sudden the timing comes up and I'm like, "Oh." And I didn't actively prepare myself. I didn't actually prepare my human even though I got the information. There's an element of denial that we can go into. And since I've been now in private, as a private practitioner for years now, I see it in others too, where They want, where I see sometimes some of my clients that come in will really want psychic information. Like, can you just tell me? It and in the beginning, I would, but then I realized, or I always, let me back up a second. I always ask the question to the guides, is it beneficial for me to share this information or not? And if the guides do say, no, not at this time, then I wouldn't. But if they say you can, yet, if it's not like a clear yes, but in the beginning, if I got like, yeah, you can, yet, and they would give me a, disclaimer on it, you can share this with them yet. I would more readily share it in the beginning of my practice years and years ago. But then I learned, because then I understood what the guides were saying, yet. Because if it was a clear yes, you can share it, that's different than yes, you can share it, yet. I realized, oh, sometimes psychic information can actually, like, it doesn't, you think it's going to be motivating for the person, or for even for me, but does it mean it's going to actually be motivating? And it doesn't mean that the information is even going to be used. But the challenge is, though, the information, if it just goes on the back burner, a lot of the times, then for the human, if the human didn't work with the information, you see how much more pain it causes the human because the information was put on a back burner. There's a huge responsibility with receiving intuitive and psychic information. And I knew from my training working with practitioners and shamans that trained me, I understood that there was a responsibility. Yet really once you get working in that space, you really understand. And so, yeah, because the human can have all kinds of things that could be blocking the human from really getting into the flow of movement or their potential. You hear often people will say, like, "Oh, are you living your potential?" People can have potential, but that doesn't mean their potential is ever going to be realized. Or there's going to be glimmers, like little bit of bits here and there of someone's potential actually being realized. So, how to reclaim your personal power during periods of uncertainty? Taking responsibility for your choices, for your experiences, even when it's uncertain times, even when, Taylor Swift has that song, It's Me, I'm the problem, it's me. Once you have become, you go into the adult land and you take really responsibility for your human and you're not a child anymore, you have to really look at, like, how am I learning, growing, and evolving? And what is the plan here in terms of me working with any limited beliefs? What are the tools? And so this whole theme is centered around embracing and trusting the transformation process, even when it's nonlinear and challenging. By understanding and applying these concepts, you're better equipped to navigate the complexities of personal growth and change, leading to more fulfilling and enlightened journey. But you don't just get to that fulfilling, enlightened journey if you don't show up to do the work. If you don't want to actually hear the information, then it's really going to be difficult to get to the fulfilling and enlightened journey. And I've seen it in my experience before I was a practitioner and as a practitioner. Just everyone wants to get to the point where they're living happily ever after in the fulfilling, enlightened journey. You're not going to get there. You might be on a surface level, but you're not really going to get to the true understanding of feeling fulfilled and enlightened if you don't ever take responsibility for your human. And you're taking responsibility for the good, the bad, the in between, the beauty, the ugly, the yicky, the hooray, this is amazing, all of it. The times when you may have been a victim, the times you may have been a violator. It's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's the isness, the business of the isness. There was a time in my life many, many years ago when I first was working with the first intuitive energy practitioner, learning from this person that I was really learning about past lives and learning how to go into the Akashic records and I was at the time I had a really good friend that was also doing this training with me. And every seemingly session for some months that we had done with this practitioner, we would go into our past lives in the Akashic records and we would just see these past lives where we both we were in many past lives together. And then also we had just separate past lives where we weren't exactly just, the good, kind human that we hoped to be. We had experiences where we were doing some things that, yeah, and it was a really humbling experience being like, wow, I have to accept responsibility for that. And then also how you can feel guilt from a past life. And so but the training was really about it's not right, wrong, good or bad, it's the isness. And are you learning, growing, and evolving? And is there anything from that past life that's being called to resolve? Is there any karmic points? Why is this past life showing up now? Do you have any kind of energy from that past life that is any kind of heartbreak, sadness for what you saw or what you experienced or what you did? Is there any kind of also sometimes doing like forgiveness work for past lives, recognizing like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if, I did any harm. I'm sorry if harm was done to someone else. Sorry if harm was done to the earth. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I experienced harm from something. It's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's the isness. It's using mindfulness again and again. And it's using the tools to support you in terms of clearing the energy and coming to completion with things, but taking responsibility. It was a very uncomfortable part of my training. And it was like again and again and again. And it was not linear because, some sessions we didn't, but then the next session it would come about. And it was because me really learning, letting go of any kind of aspects of viewing a certain role as good and bad. There was a concept that I was kind of caught in where like this is good, this is bad. And some of it was from this present life of growing up Catholic, where I was even though I understood the knowingness, I was like, yeah, that doesn't feel right. But I was still caught in a construct of illusion. And so these past lives came in to help me in terms of freedom and liberation, that there's just different roles that we can take on to learn, grow, and evolve in terms of our human experience here. And it's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's the isness. And when you're in the isness of the business, you can have compassion for yourself and others because it can be so confusing being here on earth. And so it really helped me expand my consciousness. And it also helped me really break free from, getting caught in just viewing the victim as like, oh, victim, perpetrator bad, violator bad. And then getting and cleared me of like getting caught in non-beneficial victim consciousness. It's not right, wrong, good or bad. It's the isness and how can we learn and grow and support one another. And I'm not saying though, violator or perpetrator like that is good. I'm not saying that at all because that is not true. It's about learning to grow in mindfulness and compassion. And how do we be more aware and supportive of one another? And how do we recognize that we can be caught in different things? And how do we invite each other in to having more compassion for one another and also being okay with we might just come from different perspectives, and how can we still learn to be bridges of light to each other? And also, too, it teaches you to be in discernment versus judgment. Because if you're getting caught in just black and white thinking, where this is right, this is wrong, that's good, that's bad, then you're getting caught in judgment. And what you want to do is be in discernment and nuances too. Like there's more nuances to it of like why did that, happen? Like expanding it out, which is then why expanded consciousness is important. So again, it's just come back to the point of it's about reclaiming your personal power. It means taking responsibility for your experiences, even in uncertain times. And it involves recognizing that you have a choice in how you respond to challenges and changes, even when you feel like you don't have a choice. And I know what that feels like too, when you feel like you're in that desperate energy and you're like, oh my God, I don't have any choices. Like there's nothing I can do. And you feel so weighed down by the energy. But you are an empowered creator with the universe. You have the ability as an energy alchemist to transform energy. So you can work with the universe to shift it. So when that empowerment comes from within, and it comes from then the practices that you're using to support building the strengths and your abilities to do so. So again, um, this theme is centering around embracing and trusting transformation process, even when it's non-linear and challenging. By understanding and applying the concepts, you're better equipped to navigate the complexities of personal growth and change, leading to a more fulfilling and enlightened journey. All right, so how to integrate this theme? One is really recognizing and releasing hidden blocks, noticing where you feel frustration, resistance, or exhaustion. Asking yourself, is there an old belief or fear surfacing here? Journaling, or you could even use voice notes. Use voice notes to explore. You can use like the little notes on your phone, and you can lock them. If you have I don't know if it's on Android, but I know on Apple and iOS, you can lock them. So here are they. Here they are, the questions. What am I afraid will happen if I fully step into my power? What am I afraid will happen if I fully step into my power? Am I holding on to any outdated identity that no longer supports me? Am I holding on to any outdated identity that no longer supports me? Where have I unconsciously given my power away? Where have I unconsciously given my power away? And then how to also integrate this theme is, doing meditation, energy work, somatic practices for clearing stagnation. When we feel blocked, it is often stored in our body. So, grounding exercises, standing barefoot on the earth, visualizing any resistance releasing from your body, regrounding, doing energy work. You can place your hands over your solar plexus, your power center, and set intention to release stored resistance there or powerlessness and call in and strengthening to your empowered creator for your highest good. Doing breath work, simple breathing pattern. Inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Movement and shaking. Loosen trapped energy by shaking your arms, legs, and bodies for 2 to 3 minutes. Woo, you can do that right now. There you go. And then strengthening your mind, trusting that delays as divine timing. You can practice seeing can you practice seeing setbacks as sacred pauses rather than failures? Can you practice seeing setbacks as sacred pauses rather than failures? Instead of like shifting your perspective, retraining your brain, shifting your perspective. Instead of I'm stuck, try I'm in a moment of deep recalibration. So instead of stuck, retrain your brain and shift it, reframe it by saying, I'm in a moment of deep recalibration. Instead of saying, everything is falling apart, everything is falling apart, try saying, everything is clearing to create space for something better. So instead of saying, everything is falling apart, try and say, everything is clearing to create space for something better. Instead of saying, this setback means I failed. This setback means I failed. Try and say, this is part of my spiral of expansion. I'm growing in ways I cannot yet see. So instead of saying, this setback means I failed, say, this is part of my spiral of expansion. I'm growing in ways I cannot yet see. And then here are some intentions and affirmations to work with. You can repeat after me if these resonate with you. I trust the natural cycles of transformation. I trust the natural cycles of transformation. I release resistance and surrender to divine timing. I release resistance and surrender to divine timing. Every delay is aligning me with something greater. Every delay is aligning me with something greater. I am reclaiming my personal power and moving forward with clarity. I am reclaiming my personal power and moving forward with clarity. So use those intentions and affirmations, retrain the brain. You can go on an affirmation walk. Use them to support yourself, to re anchor you in a new way of being. And also, if you find that you have come back around in terms of your transformation spiral and you're like, wait, what happened? Why am I in this again? Be kind to yourself, be gentle, be compassionate. I'm in my early 50s and there's been so many moments where I'm like, huh, been there, done this. Humaning is just, it is a marvel. And the more that you can just bring lightness and humor and just compassion to it, the more that you're just going to be able to work with yourself. And then also, too, set intentions, set goals. What is your, do you have like, that's the other thing, too, I see when I work with people that they know they're going to need to do something eventually, but there's so much they're waiting though to the very last minute, to the bottom drops to do it because it's a change and they feel some sort of they feel being scared. But the challenge is though, if you wait to the bottom drops, you wait to bottom out, making that change is going to be a lot more challenging for you because you're going to be doing it under a lot of probably anxiety because you waited so long to do it. It's kind of like if you have an exam and you need to study and you wait till like the exam is like at 8 in the morning and you finally get around to studying at like 2 in the morning. You just waited to the last possible minute. And then you're causing a lot of stress in your experience as opposed to taking responsibility of like, wow, I'm in a some sort of a life change right now and I'm going to work with it a bit each day as opposed to trying to cram it in hours before. You're and I remember in college there were moments where I would study for the whole semester and then sometimes I would just cram. Ooh, those cramming experiences. Oh, it'd be so stressful, stress going in. And it just wasn't I didn't have as much of a good experience with the subject matter, with any of it, because I was trying to either ignore what was coming, even though I knew it, and so learn from your experience. Learn from your experience, and if you're being called to shift and make a change and you know that change is coming, start working with the human now. Don't wait to the very last minute to try and cram it in. So use your tools. Okay, the astrological influence and energy theme connection for this theme is solar eclipse on in Aries on March 29th. Ignites bold new beginnings, pushing us into new cycles of empowerment, pushing us toward bold new beginnings, but only after deep release. So these cosmic energies that we're talking about for March 2025 is supporting the theme of breaking free and reclaiming power. All right, the next one is Venus conjunct Neptune, March 26th, dissolves illusions, allowing us to see clearly where we need to reclaim our truth. Neptune is dissolving illusions, forcing us to see realities more clearly. And then Mercury retrograde brings hidden patterns to the surface, forcing us to review before we move forward. There's been a few that's already come up for me. Oh my God. Humaning. I was just reading an article earlier, and wait, I'm going to get the title of the article. Hold on. Um, okay, wait. I got to get the title because, uh, okay, wait. Um, just the title. Aliens are real. US government officials have admitted the age of disclosure. The director of it wants you to know there's more to the story. This is from an article in Variety that happened on March 9th, 2025. So I was like, I mean, amazing. And the article begins, if you don't believe in aliens yet, you're behind. The United States has been secretly working to capture UAP's unidentified anomalous phenomenon, the more formal term of UFOs since 1947. But anyway, I sent it to my friend, one of my besties. Just, and she wrote back, she goes, come get us. So then I wrote back, I'm like, seriously, is your planet though? How's your planet over there? Have you guys shifted more to 5D higher living? Like what's happening there? Have you really gotten the whole multidimensional living worked out there? What's going on? What's it like over there? And I share that because when you think about like, releasing and shifting and what it's like to sometimes live in this earth experience, I know I've had experience where I've talked to people about, especially people who are like star seeds, where you're just like, on other planets, it may seemingly have been different. That sometimes Earth, there can be amazing moments, can it feel so complicated here in terms of the density and just all the other factors here. And so back to the energy theme connection in the cosmic energies with Mercury in retrograde. Just like the hidden patterns coming to surface, forcing us to review before we move forward. Mercury in retrograde is unearthing old truths, misalignments, which is then earlier when that when I read that article that was in Variety about the aliens and I sent it to my friend, and my friend and I were just like, yeah, what is it like to possibly, is there a world that has shifted in terms of light and is not caught in so many 3D misalignments? And I don't know, just having that conversation and just it just brought joy to me. Um But, we have chosen to be here, though. We've really chosen to be here, and that's something my guides remind me about, is that we have chosen to come to Earth at this time, and that with that, We're here to bring light in physical form. And so finding the humor in it and expanding awareness and such like that. All right. So with this one, my friends, make sure to use your tools because there's a lot that's releasing, and I would definitely recommend doing energy work. If you do dowsing energy, I definitely recommend doing dowsing energy to clear anything that's coming up from the multidimensional aspect. If you're in my Inspiring You Patreon in the all access, we did the energy forecast with dowsing energy session. That's pretty it has a lot of, it's a really great clearing. Definitely recommend that. That's already on the All Access or the Inspiring You paid podcast. This weekend on, I think it's the 15th, on March 15th, we're going to be doing another mini tune up dosing. So that's again for the All Access, the Inspiring You All Access. If you're in my Meditate with Me for the Inspiring You Patreon, then we are doing the Tuesday tool time. So we'll be clearing and then calling in, and Thursday will be integration. So those will also help you in regard to all the energy forecasts, and then specifically also with the cosmic energies coming in as well. All right. So let's just take a moment to close our eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out when no longer supports. Breathing in life force energy, breathing out when no longer supports. And then imagine, sense, visualize being knowingness of a golden spiral of light infused with Reiki energy healing, flowing through your body, gently clearing away any blockages or resistance. So imagine, sense, visualize being knowingness of a golden spiral of light infused with Reiki energy healing, flowing through your body and gently clearing any blockages or resistance. Clearing any blockages, allowing the light to fill in the spaces for the highest good. Following your breath in, following your breath out. Allowing this golden spiral of light flowing through your body, gently clearing any blockages or resistance, allowing the light to fill in the spaces for the highest good. All right, take a nice deep breath. All right, my friends, we're going to start to come back now. You can start to move your body, bring awareness behind your eyes, and then let's just break the links before we fully come back. You can repeat after me if it resonates with you. I asked to break the links with this talk. I asked to break the Reiki links to the session. I asked to break the links, leaving only harmony and balance at either ends. I asked to clear any residual energies being held in my body as a result of these links. I asked the light to fill the void cells, rejuvenates, refreshes, revitalizes for the highest good with ease and grace and gratitude. And if I went too fast, you can just say ditto for the highest good. And then I asked this healing to be sealed with love and light. I asked this healing to be sealed with love and light. I asked this healing to be sealed with love and light. And so it is. Okay, you can open your eyes now. Welcome back. And then here is the Reiki blessing before we go. May you trust the process of your transformation. May you find peace in the pauses, knowing they are preparing you for something greater. May you reclaim your power with courage, clarity, and grace. Breathing in that expansion, exhaling resistance. Breathing in expansion, allowing that light to fill in the spaces for the highest good. And remember, you're exactly where you need to be for your highest good, and that you are an empowered creator with the universe. You are an energy alchemist. You are a self-healer. Leaning in and expanding your divinity, knowing that you are light in physical form, and that you have all the support and love and care from the universe to help you. So, with that, my friends, we are done for now. We are complete. So, with love, light, gratitude, until soon.